What's up, y'all? That's right, man. Welcome to my birthday party live stream show where we're going to make lots and lots of fun of those that have decided to wreck the whole country. Yeah, man. So, if this is your first time joining Kevin from Kevin's Corner, uh, welcome to the show. That's right. Now, this thing sitting on my head is not a growth. It's not a cone. I'm not one of the cone heads. This is actually a birthday party hat. Yeah, I actually went out today and bought this with you guys in mind. I said to myself, anything to keep the people chuckling. That's right, man. So, yeah, this is my birthday hat. Now, wait. Now, see, if you're going to rock it, you better rock it. Dang on it. Yeah, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Maybe I did. There it is. Oh, wait a minute. Unicorn style. Oh, yeah. So, anyway, it's my birthday, guys. And I don't really do anything for my birthday, but I'm always thankful to have another one because the alternative, it did look like in living color. Hated it. Yeah. To have the alternative is worse. People be talking about, I don't want to get older. Well, what's the alternative? What's the alternative? You want to get what? Do you think you're Benjamin Button? Yeah, you're not Benjamin Button. So the alternative is checking out, and we don't want to do that. So I am thankful for my birthday. And since it's my birthday, y'all, yeah, man, I ain't got no pen for y'all to put money on my shirt. But what you can do is you can support my channel and be a blessing to me on my birthday, y'all, by participating in my online PayPal fundraising, I guess, campaign. I got 22 days left, y'all. I checked it last night. Now it's 21. 22 days left for anybody who wants to participate in it. And it's, of course, $5 if you got it. And then you just put it in there. And the link is right below this video in the About section. Yeah. So just pin it there. Pin it there. If you can't pin it on my shirt, just pin it down there. Okay. And I already thank those who have been, contributing to that because it really does help offset what's going on with big tech. And we're going to be talking about some of that tonight as well. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes, you guys. I really, really appreciate it. Some of y'all be out there trying to guess my age, and some of y'all have guessed my age. Okay. Now, if you've already guessed it in the past, don't be telling everybody else who's trying to guess it. Now, look up here. The phone number is 330-974-4607. If you text MAGA to that number, I'll respond so you could be kept in the loop just in case I get bounced off of here like they're trying to bounce off many, many other conservatives. Have y'all been watching the news? Yeah, it seems to be an all-out attack on conservatives, man. And they ain't just attacking them through the justice system. They're doing it through character assassination. Somebody said 34. You so kind. I tell y'all be all making me blush on the inside. Yeah, but they're doing it through attacking folks' character. The guy who was responsible for inspiring the movie Sound of Freedom. Yeah, that dude right now is under attack. Apparently, out of nowhere, like 5 women or something saying, "Oh, well, he assaulted me back in 1980 or something like that." And then Russell Brand, out of nowhere, just 5 women randomly just fall out of the sky, and it comes down to questioning some things. Why? Why now? How did this all get coordinated? Why so many women? That's my question. See, whenever you want to know whether it's a Democrat hit piece or not, just stop for a second to see how over the top it goes. When you have Tara Reid come out, you got one person. You got Tara Reid. She came out. She did not hide. She didn't say, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and be anonymous. She came out. She said what happened. She gave details. And she was a Democrat. Way more believable. But when you see 5 people and you got to ask yourself, who coordinated these 5 people? You think just at once they all decided, you know what, I feel like I should just tell on Russell Brand, all of them? Or could it be that people were going around saying, anybody got anything to say about Russell Brand? We'll make it worth it. Yeah, he's hyped right now. He's speaking out against, what's going on. Now, I'm not saying that this is not a possibility or something like that. And I'm sure not victim shaming anybody. However, what I am saying is it's very suspicious because either way it goes, your reputation is damaged. And the guy who inspired the movie, Sound of Freedom, speaking of which, freedom! Okay, but the Sound of Freedom, the guy who inspired that noticed that this man just came out and said he would run for Mitt Romney's seat. And just so happened, right after that, up jumped the boogie. See, politics is a dirty game, and nobody plays it dirtier than the dirty Dems. So we got to get in shape and fight back against all this crap. So once again, thank you so very, very much for all of the happy birthday wishes and support. And like I said, make sure you hit that like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms. I'm trying to get myself together here. Got my tea. That's right. Yeah, got my tea. Let me get a swig. No, it's too hot. It's too hot. I gotta let it cool off, dang on it. So tomorrow I will be letting Mayor Garlic have it. I'm going to be refereeing the fights. I said, let me get one more day trying to clear up my throat because right now I got the Busta Rhymes going on. Arr, arr, like a dungeon dragon. So I got to let that clear up. Ooh, it's hot. Then, so I'm going to be doing the refereeing of the Merrick Garland's battles tomorrow. But tonight, I got to talk about some other things. And so we're going to get into it. And you might have to give me a little grace. Since it's my birthday, have to give me like 20 more minutes. I know I'm gonna try to keep it to an hour, but I know with this material I'm about to drop on y'all, it's probably gonna take us to about an hour, 15, hour, 20 minutes. So if you're on a time schedule, I get it. You're just gonna have to go ahead and check out the rest later. But I gotta get this one off my chest. But before I do that, I gotta get loose. Hold on. Yeah. Word. That's right, y'all. So, here we go, y'all. Let's get into some of this madness and nonsense that's going on around the country here. So apparently, whoa! I didn't mean to do that. Now, what's going on here? So, we got some shenanigans going on. For example, some tyranny is lurking. Okay, and they think that we don't realize it. So they try to slide it in, see? And so now I got to expose this. I can't let tyranny just take place right up under my nose. And yet they're trying to make it seem as if, no, this isn't tyrannical. No, this isn't socialism being introduced to society. Not at all. Not at all. What this is us simply looking out for the small man, the little people. So let's check out a little bit of tyranny sprinkled in the U.S. and other places.
Despite that $500 million city deficit, the mayor is exploring the idea of opening a city-owned grocery store to promote food equity.
But as CBS 2's Jermont Terry found out, you won't be able to buy food anytime soon.
He's live in the newsroom to break it down for us. Jermont?
Joe and Erica, this is simply a plan and one done in small cities. But if the city-owned grocery store gets up and running, and that is a big if, Chicago will be the largest city to accomplish this.
Really?
Tonight, Mayor Brandon Johnson's team explains the need for this push. Many neighborhoods on the south and west sides are without quality grocery stores. Windows are boarded up after private chains moved out. Take this former Aldi at 76 in Ashland and Auburn Gresham.
So the question I have is why? Why are all the grocery stores moving out? See, this is where these folks in Chicago go wrong. They never ask the why question. They just identify the symptoms, but they don't want to know what caused it. They don't want to know what caused it. Yeah, so the question becomes is why? So you got Brandon, the grown man still rocking a mohawk, is talking about I guess, city-owned grocery store. Now that reminds me of something else. Socialism. Do you think with a city-owned grocery store, first of all, do you think they're going to have that thing without no taxpayers paying into it? Huh? Somebody's going to be paying. Somebody's going to be paying. But secondly, how do you think that's going to look in Chicago? So now the city will own a grocery store. Let's continue and see what this brilliant plan is, okay, to supply the people. And then let's see if they can figure out the why question. Why are all the grocery stores leaving?
It closed more than a year ago.
All of our stores are closing. And so now we have to go outside of our neighborhoods.
Native Southsider Shelley
Why?
Williams welcomes any plans to bring grocery stores back. That includes Mayor Brandon Johnson's newest initiative to get the city into the grocery chain business.
So I
Ding, 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 ding. Somebody in the audience got it. See, we doing like an online birthday, exchange gift. I don't have much to give. You just won yourself a cough drop. So apparently, crime. Now, why is it that we can figure that out? Normally, a safe place that is profitable and feels like, what? These people are, a delight to service and all of that stuff. They don't leave. So you're telling me everything was hunky-dory in Chicago, and out of nowhere, Walmart and many other stores just decided, you know what? We don't like these peasants. How dare us serve these riffraff? Let's pack up and move to an all-white neighborhood. Do you think that's what they did? What could have chased them out of there? Even when rats start running off of a ship or running out of a barn, usually you stop and say, what's chasing the rats away? So if animals know that danger is lurking, let's bounce. Why do you think all the grocery stores are doing it? Danger. So the same guy that's allowing all the violence and crime to take place is now offering a socialist solution.
I think that's a good idea that Mayor Johnson.
And she don't even catch it. I think it's a good idea.
Picking up the slack.
He created the slack.
Where these big store chains are leaving.
Under Mayor,
she still couldn't figure it out, guys. Still couldn't figure it out, man. She appears praising the guy, along with, of course, you have to contribute some of that to Mayor Beetlejuice. But both of those combined and years of Democrat policies have created the slack. And here she is. And it's good that Brandon's picking up the slack by providing a grocery store, hopefully, or he thinks not hopefully, brother, but that's what they're trying to do, that is owned and controlled by the government.
Mayor Johnson's proposal, the city would use economic development grants. Yumi Grisby, the administration's policy chief, says the city will team up with an organization to open a city-owned grocery in one of Chicago's food deserts.
Well, hot dang.
And so we are not spending any taxpayer dollars,
What?
right? What we're also going to be able to access is the funding that
Don't you believe it? We're not spending any taxpayers' dollars, right? So I guess out of the sky, money's just going to fall. They're going to pay for all of this. How? Somebody got to fit the bill. It's amazing how these people get up there and just make up stuff. We're not paying. So what's going to end up happening is it'll probably be federal grants and not local grants. But you best believe somebody's fitting the bill, just like they're asking for federal money to help with these migrants, which we're going to talk about in a quick second. So they got magical money, y'all.
exists at the national level, at the state level.
The major grocery chains claim they left these communities because it just was not profitable.
You see them grocery chains lying? They don't have the heart. And they scared because of their social credit score to come straight out and say, these folks is out of control. That's right. We can't make a profit because they keep stealing every time and they're not getting locked up. There's no consequences. See, if I was the owner of one of them, I would keep it real. I would have all kind of liberals protesting outside of my company talking about this guy is racist. I can't be racist. I'm black. I'm black. And therefore, I'd see what's going on. If you give folks the notion that they can commit crimes still and there's no punishment for it, do you think they're going to slow down? You know what kept many of us out the penitentiary when I was growing up? Jail. It's that simple. It wasn't mama yelling at me. Yeah, granted, a butt whooping is bad. But when jail come up, that'll shake you all together. That'll shake you up, man. I had a little girl that was a kindergartner when I was a special ed coordinator. Couldn't figure this little girl out. Couldn't figure her out. She was the most sociopathic kindergartner I've ever seen. She was way smarter than all the other kindergartners and was vindictive. One time, she bit a kid, looked over at me and smiled, y'all. Like, did you see my work? I'm thinking, what the heck is going on with this little 5-year-old? I'm not going to be defeated by a 5-year-old. Even her mama was like, I don't know what else to do with her. I whoop her. She don't respond to whoopings. She didn't respond to nothing. No pain, no threats, nothing. So here I am. I'm going, there's no way. I'm going to let this 5-year-old outwit me. Every kid got a button Every kid got a red button. I don't care how tough they act. So one day she decides to go on a little tour around the school. I get the call. She's on the run again. So I track this kid down and I said, that's it. You want to leave? Come on, let's go. Now, she didn't seem fazed by that at all. I took her, put her book bag on, her little jacket and stuff, walked her straight to the door. And I'm thinking, wow, she's not showing any emotion right now. She ain't even concerned about this. I said, well, you want to keep running out? You know what? You're on your own now. I'm going to go ahead and kick you out to school. You go ahead and walk home. So I shove her out the door. Now, she's 5, 6 maybe. She didn't know I was still watching her. So I'm looking out the door. She's just cooling, standing out in front of the school. So I open the door. And I'm like, what are you doing? I thought you were leaving. I thought you want to go. You don't want to be in here. So go on. You know how to get home? No. I said, well, that ain't my problem. Go ahead and start walking. Close the door again. Looked out there. She didn't move. So I come back out and I said, that's it. Come on, let's go. You don't want to go home. You don't want to be in here. I got something for you. Now, up the street was the JJC, the Juvenile Justice Center. I walked her little butt all the way up there. Now I'm committed. At this point, I'm committed, man. I'm finding out how can I break this 5-year-old. I walked her all the way up there and she didn't complain at all. Had her little hand, everything. And I'm giving her speeches, I'm about to send you to jail because you don't want to. And she didn't even twitch. I go inside the JJC, walk up to the window. And the guy's like, hey, how you doing? And I give him the wink, but the 6-year-old, she can't catch it. I'm giving the guy the wink, like, okay, this right now, I'm teaching a lesson. I said, hey, man, we got this kid right here. She keeps leaving out the classroom or wandering around. She won't listen to her mother. So there's nothing else we can do. So do you have a cell that you can lock her in? Okay. I said, now, I don't know if her mom's coming to get her or not, but you got an open cell. And the guy was like, yeah, I think we do have a cell. I said, great. Okay, well, take care. I'm about to leave you. And as I start walking out, I heard the consequences. When she looked at, I'm about to get locked up, take away my freedom, let me repent. She received some immediate jailhouse repentance. That's right. The threat of getting thrown in a slammer made her come all up into some tongues and holiness. Oh, Lord Jesus, forgive me. Have mercy. And I said, why are you crying? Why are you crying? I don't want to go to jail. Well, that ain't got nothing to do with me. You've been acting a fool. I'm gone. Please, grab me by the leg. And I'm like, get off me. Fine, come on. But you better not leave that classroom again. You think I had problems out of her again? No. She understood. There's consequences. See, so that's what's going on up there in Chicago. They're giving them the worst signal ever. Break the law, act a fool, and we're going to go ahead and make excuses for you. And now they're all scratching their dome while all these companies left.
So it begs the question how Mayor Johnson can flip that narrative.
And so it's not necessarily about profitability. It really is about what is the impact on Chicagoans.
No, it's about controlling the food chain, introducing social programs that kills capitalism, all because your socialist, Marxist conflict, dang on behavior and policies done wrecked the whole city, destabilized the city. And so now you got it just where you want it. Got it nice and right for some socialist policies. There you go. Destabilize everything and then make people become codependent on what? The government.
How does a grocery store get pushed ahead of crime?
Good question, brother.
Safety over other things?
I don't want to say that this is taking a priority. I would like to say that overall, it's not also about a grocery store. What it is about increasing access to healthy options and to food for all Chicagoans.
And while
that's what it's about, right? It's not about making sure we got government-funded food for not only the citizens in Chicago that you allowed to act the food to where they had to, chase the grocery stores away, but your precious illegal immigrants either. You don't see them talking about solving that issue, which we're about to find out.
The mayor's office says the grocery store will be funded by grant money. We should note some of the grant money could come from states and federal tax dollars, just not local tax dollars. There's no timeline when this initiative would or could move forward.
I wanted to.
Now look at all these black folks. See, now just a minute ago they talking about the food source. But what y'all doing about this dang on legal immigrant source? So watch this black dude, not the guy with the mohawk. Yeah, he bailed out. He don't want that kind of heat. So he sends somebody else to answer a question. And listen to this lie.
If there is a capacity limit, and what is that limit if there is one, and why can't we close the borders of Chicago or the state of Illinois in the first place?
Now you see this big old room of white nationalists? You see all them Trump hats and stuff. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. There's none. Okay. I don't see one white Oh, no. The cameraman in the back, he's white. And there's a cameraman right there. He's white. Besides that, it's all black folks. This sounds like white nationalist Trump supporters. Sounds like a whole room of conservatives asking a question. Why can't we close the border?
I don't know if there's a limit.
I don't know if there's a limit.
Know that when you are seeking asylum, you are granted protections from the U.S. to not return.
Y'all hear? Y'all hear him? See, they done package this up real well. Get folks focused on asylum. Because what these people don't understand, and this is why people perish because of lack of knowledge. What they don't understand is asylum has been watered down so that these people could come. There you go. You lower the requirements for asylum, bring a whole bunch of them in, and use the excuse that they're seeking asylum that we lowered the standard for. Therefore, they're protected under that. And then got the nerve to tell them, I don't know if it's a limit. So basically, look, forget about your needs. If these people keep coming to the end of time, if they go Prince on us, until the end of time, I'll bring in legals. If they go Prince on us, man, be quiet. Be quiet about it. Ain't no limit because they're all seeking asylum and they're protected by the government.
So that is the process that folks are going through when they come here, when they get their interview, and then the Texas governor sends them to Illinois.
Oh, it's the Texas governor's fault.
Chicago.
So they get to come, once they do an interview in Texas, they get to come regardless. Texas says, you're an asylum seeker, you're being persecuted.
No.
So, yeah, you can leave your country and come here and go wherever you want.
Not Texas. This is the federal government. It's the one that does the process around asylum seeking.
So that's mucus and all of them, right? The same federal government that should be protecting our borders. Mucus. So how about we get rid of mucus? We get rid of a whole bunch of these folks who have destroyed the border, lowered the standards to get into our country, and pretty much sent out a big old bullhorn welcoming. Come on, this is your time under the Biden administration. So now here he is blaming the Texas governor, and she's ignorant. So wait, Texas approves this? No, federal government. So now he's kicking it out to the federal government, y'all. So here's his next response.
Texas is making the decision to send them to Chicago.
That's what I wanted to know. Can we say, no, we won't take anymore?
Can we say, no, we won't take anymore? Of course we could. Of course we could, sweetheart. Now, I'm so tempted to find out when these city council meetings are taking place, jump in my man truck and drive all the way up there so I can challenge idiots like this. See, right now, he's relying on these people not understanding the immigration process, not understanding the racket that's been created to allow these people to come in. They don't understand that. I need to go up there and be sitting there and they'd be like, sir, are you even from this area? No, but I'm from America. I got some questions, man. I got a good mind to do that.
It has to come from the federal government.
It's not okay.
Oh, taxes come from this comes from the federal government. Look at this. See, it's happening all over the place. Y'all see who that is, right? The man chicken. That's who that is right there. Caw, chichaw. So the man chicken, he's into the grocery business too. Listen to this.
That our biggest grocery stores are making record profits while Canadians are struggling to put food on the table.
Biggest grocery stores making record profits? Basically, capitalism sucks. So now you want to eat, don't you? So let me in your business. Let me control the food supply. Now, can you imagine if the government starts controlling your food source, your transportation, all of that, your money,
So Minister Champagne will be calling on the heads of large grocers to come to Ottawa with a plan to address the rising cost of food. We expect to hear from them by Thanksgiving on what their plan is to stabilize prices. And the
people clapping for that stupid stuff. How about you, man, chicken, make policies that will, bring jobs and job security back and lower inflation in Canada or whatever's going on up there? There's a reason why folks can't afford their food. Instead of working and focusing on clean energy and all of that stuff and mess like that, instead of shutting down your truckers and tapping people's bank accounts, how about you focus on building and growing your economy so that they could actually purchase the food at what it is? Or maybe even those food sources will come down, because ours went up too. Ours went up too when we got bad leaders in our country that messed up the whole economy. And guess what happened? Food sources went up, gas went up, housing went up. But yet he want to blame the dang on grocery industries. And look what he says he's going to do.
And let me be very clear. If their
Here comes the lie.
plan doesn't provide real relief for the middle class and people working hard to join it, then we will take further action, and we are not ruling anything out, including tax measures.
Oh, y'all see the man chicken finally implementing his diabolical scheme passed down by his daddy? He's finally fulfilling his daddy's wishes, bringing socialism to Canada, and watch these folks like seals clapping. Woo! That's right. Go ahead and kill capitalism. And then we have another socialist trying to slide in right up under our nose. And he's prepping to become the president, because Creepy's not going to make it. Let's be honest. Creepy's done for. He's done for. Leave him be. Leave him behind. No saving that one. The Democrats right now is on the battlefield. They're like, just leave him. Leave him. So now listen to Gavin the Nuisance try to slide in some socialism / trying to tell us he's not a socialist based on his reaction to the you-know-what pandemic.
With the lockdowns here. And it was an interesting piece in Harper's that sort of was critical of your decisions from this perspective. Here you prioritize this industry, right? But you were tougher on those that just wanted
like a true socialist.
Go worship. What do you say to that, Chris?
I think there's a lot of...
what do you say to that? You big fat socialist, you tyrannical behind dirty stinking governor. So now here he has to try to justify why his wine whatever didn't get shut down, and he wasn't prevented from going to restaurants and gay bathhouses and lotteries and stuff like that, was liquor stores. They weren't allowed to be open, but not you stinking Christians, and not you folks that got parents that might be dying in a hospital or something. Not them. So now he got to try to justify this. And listen to what this Democrat socialist / Marxist says.
Humility, and we didn't know, and it was hardly I. It was we collectively.
I think
you hear this man kick out that blame? You see this man distribute it? All right, come on, man. No, wait a minute. Aren't you the governor? I mean, Ron DeSantis didn't say it was I. Ron DeSantis made choices down there in Florida that wielded great results that was totally opposite of what you had did in California. But now that the results are in and you're trying to win, I guess, the presidency at some point, now you're trying to downplay that. Now you're trying to make it seem like you were more fair and balanced, and you were just, you were ignorant, it was new, and there was other people involved. Who? I mean, because we saw a whole bunch of you out there promoting this mess, shutting folks down, demanding that they put all kind of stuff on, and the kids couldn't go to school, no social events, and shutting down churches and everything else. That's what we saw. You doing that.
All of us, in terms of our collective wisdom, we've evolved. We didn't know what we didn't know.
So now, why would you do that then? See, just like a true dictator, I don't need the details. Wake up one day and just suspend all the rights of the people, because I felt like it. Don't bog me down with the details, sir. Is this advantageous? It's really as bad as they say? What could be the long-term effects from making this happen? I don't care. Well, shouldn't you find that out when you got to make a drastic choice like this? Why should I have to do that? The people are subject to my will. Okay, what? Their constitutional rights. Get that mess out of here. Listen, shut it all down. And then when the results come back negatively, then I'll come out with a raggedy excuse. There was a lot to learn. So now why should we listen to you about anything going forward? That's my question. So remember, we weren't allowed to talk about any of this stuff. Now he's talking about, well, there's a lot to learn. We all now looking back in hindsight. Well, looking back in hindsight, why was my channel shut down 3 times because of this garbage? And I turned out to be right. Everything that I said on my channel was true. But instead of YouTube and the rest of them waiting to see the results and leaving it open, no, these dictators came out and laid it down like they knew what was going on. This wasn't nowhere we're still studying and we're still looking into it. No, listen to us. We're following the science that we're not sure of because, and looking back in hindsight, so now not only should we question all of these so-called leaders who claim they were following the science, but listen to the new updated science.
Experts in hindsight.
Tell everybody, don't rely on the fact that you had a vaccine in the past. It will not help you this time around.
Now, there's the dictator from New York, who is currently the governor. Now, she's the governor. Now, listen to what she just said. Well, wait a minute. I don't understand this. What did she just say? Hold on, let's hear that again, y'all. Oh, see, because now the whole thing has changed. Yeah. See, so now all of a sudden, all of those shots was for nothing. Shots for nothing.
I think all of us, in terms of our collective wisdom, we've evolved.
Because they're coming around too.
We're experts in hindsight.
Here it comes.
Tell everybody, don't rely on the fact that you had a vaccine in the past. It will not help you this time around.
So you're telling me, you little dictator, that you forced all of those New Yorkers to get that mess for nothing? That's what you're telling me. That's what dictators do. See, this woman got the nerve to come out now and tell everybody, now, coming this time, forget about that. Y'all, I know y'all went and got forced into getting all that mess back then. But this time, you're going to have to do it all over again. Because that mess is in the past. It ain't going to help you. But you fired me because I didn't want it. And now I lost my job and it's worthless. And all those folks that got it, and I got COVID 8 times after I got it. And I'm shaking. I got headaches. Now I'm twitching all the time. She don't care about that. Now the dictator comes right out and talks about, hey, moving forward, now believe me, okay? Again, boy, if New York, if they fall for this crap, they deserve it, man. So there you go. That's tyrannical right there. See that? That's how tyranny looks.
We're all geniuses.
So think about what you ended up collectively prioritizing. You're prioritizing industry, in one specific one, but then didn't prioritize maybe ones that whose maybe values you didn't connect with.
I don't think it's a binary. There was iterations within that theme. I worry about democracy.
He worries about democracy.
For autocracy that we're seeing not just from Trump, but around the world, notably across this country. I've made the point about DeSantis that I think he's functionally authoritarian.
Holy moly. No self-awareness. Chuck Fraud is interviewing this guy. And you're telling me that man just said DeSantis is functionally the authoritarian? This is coming out the man who shut his whole state down. His whole state. So let's finish hearing from this disgusting human being.
I'm worried more in many respects about Trumpism, what transcends well beyond his term and time and tenure.
I think Trump or DeSantis would be a greater threat to democracy.
I leave that to more objective minds. I'm concerned about democracy fundamentally.
Isn't it crazy? Y'all hear the projection? This man, I'm concerned about democracy. So when they want to destroy democracy and people want to save it, they will label the people trying to save it as trying to destroy the democracy. But really, it's destroy the system and their idea of democracy, meaning everybody must align up with us. Everybody must think like us. Everybody should support our agenda. Everybody should support our morals and all of that stuff. So now he's concerned about democracy.
I understand you say more objective minds. What's in your mind?
Tell
me what's in your mind.
I think the vengeance in Donald Trump's heart right
now.
The
vengeance in Donald Trump's heart. Not able to take the mirror, look up right there and say, mirror, mirror on the wall, what party is the most disgusting and vengeance of them all? His party. His aunt launched a vengeance campaign against Trump. And now he's talking about the vengeance in Trump's heart. If anybody deserves to have vengeance in their heart, it's Trump. He won legitimately, and they said that he didn't. They wouldn't let him govern for 4 years without being harassed, without being investigated, without being impeached, then afterwards are still trying to impeach the man, trying to lock him up. If anybody should be sitting back saying, man, I need to get some payback, it's the big payback. It's Trump. But this guy, I'm concerned about Trump's vengeance. Of course you are. Because you and your party is going to get it.
Now is more of a threat.
So another 4 years of that could.
Yeah,
it's not something.
I'm not going to wallow in it. I'm going to work hard to get President Biden reelected.
No,
and
you're
work
not.
hard to make the case for what he's done for this country.
This guy literally.
Y'all hear that? I'm going to work hard to get. No, you're going to work hard to slide in up under him when he collapses. That's what's going to happen. Oh, what? He's down? Well, I didn't want to do this, but I guess I'm going to have to run for the country. So now, a liberal hive mind, you're a little upset about what you just heard, aren't you?
Literally just went on NBC News after admitting that he did everything wrong and said Ron DeSantis is a tyrant, an authoritarian. Let me get this straight. The guy who enacted policy that forced procedures on people is apparently the freedom guy. The guy who shut people's businesses down. The guy who shut people inside their own homes. The guy who stopped kids from going to school. The guy who stopped extracurricular activities and sporting activities. You know, shut pretty much all regular folk down. Meanwhile, allowing lobbyist groups, powerful unions, and major corporations to continue business as usual. Apparently, that guy is the freedom guy, and the guy who didn't exert state government power, the guy who allowed people to make decisions for themselves, the guy who allowed people to continue to earn a living and feed their families, that guy is the authoritarian.
So y'all hear that Democrat democracy? That's what that is. That's what Democrat democracy looks like. So let me go ahead and control your lives, get all in your business, force you to get shots, shut down your schools, won't allow you to go to church, and then call the guy who didn't do any of those things tyrannical. Yeah, he's authoritarian. Isn't that bizarre? But see, that's that Democrat logic and projection.
You know, obviously, this guy's trying to rewrite history.
Oh,
He
we can't
doesn't
let that
want you to
happen.
remember this photo right
What
here.
photo?
You see this photo of Gavin Newsom? Yeah, that's a photo that, first of all, will live in infamy. And most importantly, that's a photo that nobody should ever forget. Because when Gavin Newsom's saying what he's saying, this photo is all you need as a rebuttal to any argument that he makes on that topic. I think.
Oh, y'all see Gavin the nuisance out there at his fancy restaurant, thinking that I'm safe, nobody's around, paparazzi's nowhere to be found, and then had the nerve to get on TV talking about some. We all fall short of the glory of God. He without sin cast the first stone. Those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw them, and all of that. Now that man should have been voted out immediately. The people in California, I don't understand. New York, Chicago, Washington, you telling me y'all can't see your leaders abusing their power, doing everything opposite of what they're demanding you to do, and somehow you still go out and vote for them. Unbelievable.
Think these culture wars have gone too far?
Oh, the culture wars have gone too far. Y'all hear this? Now, you got to understand, we never started the culture wars. We didn't invade people's personal beliefs. We're not the ones who's pushing for men to be in girls' bathrooms and stuff like that. They start the culture war and then they whine about it, okay, just because we react to it. So, what do you mean the culture wars have gone too far like this? Oh, really? Look at this. What's this? What's this? What's these? But the culture wars have gone too far. Is that a church? Now, I'm seeing maybe it's costume day at the church or something, but then the priest or preachers or whatever are reading stuff that's not from the Bible. They done made up their own scriptures. And yet you got other folks in the audience that's sitting there reading along. How'd this happen?
Are often targets of hate and violence, but we know that they are powerful and resilient people.
Transgenders are often targets of hate and violence. Are they really? Do you think anybody cares about folks that are transgender? No, they don't. But when you start targeting kids and women's sports and women's bathrooms and stuff like that, you're going to get a reaction. Now, if you just leave well enough alone and do what you do, nobody would give a darn. But yet, I'm more concerned about the priests and preachers in there. And then the audience sitting there. If I was in church and all these folks showed up, and my pastor got up there talking about, all right, today I'm going to read from the book of transgenderism. Do you understand how quickly I would make a darted beeline out of the church? Smoking. You would see papers and stuff flapping, dust kicking up. That's how quick. And listen to their doctrine. This is their beliefs. This is their scriptures.
Show us what it means to be truly authentic and expressive.
All of them repeat.
Recognizing their full humanity and their incredible contributions to our world.
Nobody in that church congregation should, they should turn the cameras around. Because you would see me like, what? You invited me to your church? And this, even if you are not a religious person or a Christian, I think a heathen sitting in there will probably go, I don't think this is what church should be like. I mean, I'm not religious. I don't believe in Christianity, but I never envisioned Christianity in the church doing something like this. See, it's bad when you can drag in heathens that will recognize this doesn't look right. But hey, there they go, y'all. Look at them. And the culture wars, man, are going too far.
Embrace radical inclusivity and work to dismantle systems of oppression.
Yeah, systems of oppression. Those are scriptures. Systems of oppression. We will fight against all forms of hate, prejudice, and intolerance and work to build a world that affirms and celebrates every person's unique identity and gifts. Where's that found in the Bible?
At the same...
Yeah, where's that found in the Bible? See, but listen to the Marxists right here. See, he said the culture wars have gone too far. But listen to this. He don't blame the parents and stuff. It's just they've been, I guess, manipulated by us right-wing conservatives and all of our rhetoric.
Same time, I don't criticize those poor parents out there that have been ginned up.
Those poor parents out there that's been ginned up by us right-wingers, right? They're not able to discern and come to the conclusion that these new culture wars and ideas and policies are being pushed on their kids. It's all because we've brainwashed them. We've ignited them. Trump and all his rhetoric or something like that. You mean parents like this?
Wait, what are you doing? Nuts. Stop that. I am not paying I am not paying my tax money to support. Get out of this Bible now. Why do you have this hanging? And why do you have this hanging up? It's part of the students. No, it's not part of anything. That is uncalled for. We are paying you to teach history, and that's what you need to be teaching.
Now, this woman must be drummed up by watching a lot of Trump and going to all of, I guess, his rallies, listening to his hateful rhetoric. So she decided to go into the classroom after hearing about the whole map being completely covered by a rainbow flag. Whole map covered. You're in history class, but instead of looking at the map, you got to see the big rainbow flag up there. Where's the American flag? Nowhere. You would think in history class, you'd have an American flag, but no, not her. So Mama Bear comes in, snatches that mess down, and gets in this woman's grill. Now, this argument is hilarious because the lady, man, she gonna get so mad. Listen to her. They are going at it. But listen to the son's commentary. He knew his mama was up there. He's like, no, Mom, come on, no. Stop, man. For real, Ma, come on, man. Yo, Ma, you tripping. He don't really want it to stop. He's enjoying it.
Excuse me, this is a public school, little lady.
Little lady.
Get out. You see what's on the side? No. This needs to go exactly where it is, in the garbage. You need to go in the garbage.
You need to... Oh man, this activist social studies teacher, you need to go in the garbage. They are going at it. She said, no, it's exactly where it should be, in the garbage. You need to go in the garbage. What else?
Teaching my son to grow up to be a man. And I don't want you hanging on flag. I'm calling security. Hanging a flag up for you to sit up there and teach them the type of stuff I'm trying to keep them away from.
I told you what would happen.
You hear the son? I told you what happened. Yeah, he's enjoying this. He's enjoying this. So now the socialist slash I guess what you would call her activist teacher, she's now calling. Now all of a sudden, I guess it's okay to call the police on black folks. You see how quickly that changed? See, because that community is protected even beyond black folks. Black folks take second seat. So now all of a sudden, it's a crime being committed. Call in the boys. The white nationalist, racist police needs to come and take this black woman away because she's offending that rainbow flag.
I told you somebody parent gonna get mad.
You need to be teaching history. 33, please. No, you need to be teaching history. Shut up. No, I'm not getting out of nowhere. I'm not getting out of nowhere.
You need to be teaching history. You need to shut up. Hey, don't talk to my mom like that. You shut up too. Get him, mama.
Hey, no, you don't tell my son to shut up. You talking to me. Your son ain't failing. My son ain't failing. Yeah. He needs to be failing because you got a flag hanging because of you. Over the United States of America. You need to.
There's a lot of misunderstanding.
Got a flag hanging up over the United States of America. But yet, Gavin Newsom says the culture wars are going too far, and the only reason these parents are upset is not because of crap like this. No. It's because they've been egged on. They're not able to see what these folks are trying to do to their kids by themselves. They don't have common sense. No. See, she would have never felt that way if it wasn't from us conservative right-wingers out there lying about the culture war. So she didn't come to that conclusion on her own, or did she? But here this socialist right here again trying to project.
Misunderstanding, misrepresentation out there because people are weaponizing these grievances against vulnerable communities led by DeSantis. But this is why California is so essential.
Oh, sure.
This is why we matter.
Give us a wonderful example of California and why it's essential and why they matter. This is Gavin Newsom's work right here, guys. This is what socialism looks like. I'm going back to Cali. I'm going back to Cali. Man, I don't think so. Look at that wonderful utopian society right there. Filled with needles and poop and folks sleeping and laying around. Look at that. Yes, excellent example, Gavin Newsom. This is what you want to make the rest of the country looks like. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Boy, I tell you, I want to go to Cali more now than ever, guys. Growing up, I used to always say, boy, I bet you it'd be nice to go out to California. Looks like a hippie California girl. Yeah, but now that I see the updated version, I can't wait. When does the plane leave, guys? And yet they're going to shove this dude out there to go out. I'm sure he's coming. They're going to shove his butt out there to try to convince us that the policies in California are working. Not only is it working, the rest of the country who do not have their same policies, and look at this as a wonderful example, are the real authoritarian dictators. They're preventing people from living out their American dream of being drugged up and sleeping out on the streets. There you go. That's California. Gavin Newsom's work and Nancy Pelosi's. Let's go ahead and take a tour, y'all. Bus trip to Cali. But wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Listen to the parrots. Beginning of the end, y'all. Who are they referring to, though? So now, let's switch gears. Because apparently, Gavin the nuisance and all the tyrannical folks want power and they want to be in leadership positions and stuff like that. Because this guy right here is about to get booted out.
The beginning of the end?
The beginning of the end. The beginning of the end.
The beginning of the end.
How do they all know to say that?
The beginning of the end. In fact, if this were a football game, we're in the third quarter. May even be the beginning of the end.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today because the American people are getting
okay. So that little montage I opened up with, the beginning of the end, that used to be for Trump. Isn't that ironic how the Mockingbird media all got that talking point? Beginning of the end, beginning of the end, beginning of the end, beginning. Well, now it's going to be the beginning of the end for somebody else. Creepy, one way or another, whether it's through impeachment or his mental decline. But nonetheless, here's the Democrats coming out to defend Creepy as he comes to an end.
front row seat at the circus that Speaker Kevin McCarthy and extremists in the Republican Party are unleashing on our country. We are 15 days away from a government shutdown that will impact millions of working people. Speaker Kevin McCarthy cannot even get his own party to pass any significant pieces of legislation.
Shut it down.
And the cherry on top of all of this is that instead of getting to work to fund the government, they're trying to impeach Hunter Biden, I think, which, spoiler alert, is not the president of the United States.
Well, see, now, this guy right here apparently is lying about them doing some work. They ain't been doing nothing. They've been working hard to destroy the country. So, really, we probably wouldn't miss a beat. Government moves so slow, and they just do stupid stuff anyway, counterproductive things. So, I don't know. It might be a good thing if they shut down. I mean, I'll go and stand in. No, you don't have to pay me. I just think I can run it better. So, if these guys want to strike or do whatever, I'll step in. Can make better decisions than these folks, but here he is. Now it's getting back to the people. We just want to get to work for the people.
Speaker doesn't even have the votes for impeachment, doesn't have the votes to fund the government. It's unclear whether or not he even has the votes to keep his own job. Kevin McCarthy doesn't even know what Kevin McCarthy stands for, because it sure looks like his morals and beliefs about how this place should run only apply when other people are holding the gavel. So America, in 15 days from now, when our country comes to a halt, remember who did this to you. Speaker Kevin McCarthy and the extremist House Republicans who care more about themselves and their politics than you.
Since the start.
Hot dang. So we're just doing this for no reason. We just want to shut down the government and investigate Joe Biden for vengeance. Because he didn't do nothing.
Started this year, House Republicans have uncovered over 20 LLCs used by the Biden family. We've also uncovered over $20 million while then Vice President Joe Biden, that $20 million from China, Russia, Ukraine, Romania, going into the Biden family.
Now, I'm sure Creepy and the Crackhead's business was selling something to all these countries. Had to be crack. Yeah, creepiness. Maybe some creepiness. If you ever wondered about your lack of creepiness, I got the solutions. Creepy cream. There you go. You just rub some of the creepy cream on you and you start to sniffing folks and follow them around and getting frisky. Creepy cream. Get it right here at the Biden and Crackhead, Creepy and the Crackheads organization. So now this guy and his son was receiving $20 million from all these countries with no products, y'all. And then they got like all these shell companies. Where you think that? Because we just heard a young man out there on the floor talking about these are stupid, baseless investigations.
We also know that according to very reliable confidential human sources that has worked for decades with the FBI, that there was a bribery scheme when it came to Burisma and the Obama administration's policy for Ukraine. So this is what I believe will be the largest political corruption scandal in our lifetime and potentially in the history of the country. The American people deserve all the facts and transparency. That's why we're making sure that we're pursuing impeachment inquiry.
And that's why the media and the Democrats are trying to conceal it and cover it all the way up. So Creepy and the Crackhead don't go out bad. But according to that young man, and you'll see other Democrats, we're just doing this because we aren't hateful and we just don't want to help out the people. Yeah. So listen to this. Here's some more cover up, y'all. Here we go.
I want to move on and talk about the other big story from the House side of the chamber this week, the impeachment inquiry. The Speaker launching this week, basically unilaterally, not having a vote. When Democrats unveiled their articles of impeachment in 2019, you put out a statement that says, in part, the founders of this country feared a single-party impeachment because it would bitterly and perhaps irreparably divide our nation. Nancy Pelosi and her radical lieutenants simply don't care. This will backfire on them politically, but it will do serious harm to America in the process.
Those
same maxims apply right now as House Republicans, as just one party, appear to be inching towards impeaching the president.
Yeah. Well, they got him. Look at that. Now look at somebody said I'm frozen. Oh no, you might have to refresh. So apparently, this guy right here thinks he has him. He's like, oh yeah, I got him on this one. I'm about to hit him with some hypocrisy. No, only Democrats do that. So if Republicans got spines like this man does, he's going to say exactly what he's about to say.
Yes, I would issue the same exact tweet right now, because impeachment Next to the declaration of war, I mean, impeachment is the heaviest power that the Congress has, and the sole power of impeachment, according to Article 1, Section 2 of the Constitution, is with the House. So it can't be wielded for political purposes, and that's what we were accusing the Democrats of doing against Donald Trump.
In other words, impeachment with a purpose. Not just because you want to stop your political opponent. There's a reason why this man is under an impeachment inquiry. But yet the Democrats, because people are terrified, and Trump's a Russian agent, and all of this stuff. See, so this man right here stood his ground. I mean, what did he think he would say? You know, this man was straight up, yeah, I did it. Yeah. That's the worst. When you think, oh, I got somebody, they're going to be shook up, I'm about to have them backpedaling, and they look you in the eyes and go, absolutely, I'll do it again. Yeah. When me and my boy was in high school, we wreaked havoc. Once we start wrestling and hitting the weights, oh, man. So this dude came to our school. He was new. He was a senior, and we were only sophomores, right? Had this beautiful girlfriend. Now, we didn't know this lady, but we saw her one time with him, and we like, I can't believe this dude pulled her, you know? So we decided we're going to introduce ourselves to her. Just went over her house. Hey, how you doing? Kevin, Rob. What you up to? Who are you guys? Don't worry about that. You're a very pretty lady. So she tells him. Next day in the lunchroom, we're over there eating our French fries. And we see him over there talking to a couple other upperclassmen. And we knew what he was talking about because the body language. He kept looking over there at us. So one of my boys, one of my best friends, he said, hey, man, don't tell me about it. They right over there. Why don't you go over and talk to him? So he comes walking over there. And he said, hey, guys, I got a question. So we stopped. We're like, yeah, what? He's like, did you guys go over Allison's house yesterday? Both of us. Yeah, we did. That was it. And we stared at him until he looked away. See, you wanted that answer? We gave it to you. What did you think we were going to do? No, it wasn't even like that, bro, man. We didn't even know. Not us. We loved it. We loved you asked that question. We were waiting on you to come over here. Yeah, we did. Is there anything else you want to ask? And the guy was like, I just, that was uncool, man. And walked off. And he could tell we were still staring at him while he was walking off because we was upset that you would interrupt our French fries. Anyway, man, so anyway, like I was saying, man, we're back to eating. So sometimes you get blindsided by a response that you think, oh, I got him this time, y'all. Got him. No, you didn't. That man said, I'd do it again.
That is not what is at issue here. And I've gone to great pains to explain this. To everyone who will listen, we are following evidence, and we have a constitutional responsibility to do so. So if you look at Article 2, Section 4, it says that a president shall be impeached. Shall be removed from office on impeachment of and conviction for treason, bribery, high crimes, and misdemeanors. The evidence that's come forward that has been developed in all these investigations over 8 or 9 months now shows very clearly that we have serious allegations of some of those categories of infractions. The Constitution says we must do that. We have to follow the truth where it leads.
There's a big difference between allegations and evidence, though. You have allegations. Do you have the evidence of those things?
Y'all hear the cleanup job? Big difference between allegations and evidence. All that mess that this man just listed, this guy's talking about, there's a big difference. That how do you get to the point where you finalize the evidence? You got to have a predicate. But that guy acts as if everything that man just mentioned is irrelevant. You're supposed to bypass all of the circumstantial evidence that should lead to a greater and deeper investigation and jump straight to, well, we got all the evidence. We didn't need to do an investigation leading up to all the evidence that we have. You got circumstantial evidence that drives an investigation. But this guy just jumped right over there. He ignored every single thing this man said.
We have a lot of evidence. I mean, we have bank statements. We have text. We have emails. We have whistleblowers from the IRS and the FBI who have come forward and testified under oath. We have mounds of this evidence, and it is incumbent upon us. We have a duty under the Constitution to follow it. Look, I take no pleasure in this. Impeaching a president is a huge thing for the country. It's not something that should be handled lightly, and it's not. And I assure you that the people on the committees of jurisdiction that are doing this investigation are doing it with a heavy heart. This is not. We take no pleasure in this. I don't want to impeach a president, but that's where the evidence seems to be going. If the inquiry having now been started, if we gather the remaining documents and there's evidence that exonerates President Biden, then so be it. That's where it will be done. But we will have done our duty under the Constitution. It's a very serious matter.
Yeah, but wait a minute. See, rhinos have bad vision. Did y'all know that? The rhinoceros has poor vision. As big as that animal is and tough as it is, it can't see nothing. Just like our rhinos. They can't see the evidence either.
You know, I know the House is beginning an impeachment inquiry. I haven't heard any allegation of something that would rise to the level of a high crime or misdemeanor.
Can't see it.
It'd be very unusual to actually see a referral of impeachment. I don't expect that to happen.
Romney to Rhino.
They can inquire and see if there's evidence that shows something else. I don't think they'll find that. I don't know. But there's been no allegation of that. And any hint of that has been denied by the president. So I'm not expecting that to occur.
Yeah.
That dude is a 100% bum. 100% bum. Rich, but still a bum. Can you believe that? That guy just straight because see, he's been pimping the system as well. He might as well not even claim to be a Republican. And then there's others.
But what are you going to do in terms of your conference, your membership? We know that there are some Republican congressmen who have said you're not there yet. Look, we've got a graphic right
Look
here.
at all
These
of
are
them.
Republicans who have publicly
Rhinos
stated that they
can't see
do not
good.
support an impeachment inquiry.
Rhinos just cannot see good. But you know who can see? Nasty Pelosi. She's not happy. Nasty's not happy. Here she goes.
And Speaker Pelosi, Speaker McCarthy made the argument the other day.
You see her sucking on that much mouth? She's wetting up that mouth so she can spew out more lies. That's right. See? So let me go ahead and move my dentures around and get ready to go into lying mode. That's what I'm about to do. So let me first start off with a sip of my medicine. That's right. Oh, yes, that's good, Nancy. My medicine makes me feel relaxed. Now, what were you asking? So here it comes, y'all. Y'all ready for Nasty doing what she does? Being nasty.
That, well, Nancy Pelosi set this precedent. She waited a long time to have a vote on the first impeachment of Donald Trump. You did hold a vote, we should add, but he said you made the rules and he's just following them now by not holding this initial vote for an impeachment inquiry. What do you say to that?
I say that that's hogwash.
What?
I mean, it's ridiculous. And I don't know why the press keeps repeating it. The fact is, we said we were going to, I assigned my committee chairs, 6 of them, to develop the facts.
Hogwash,
because
y'all.
you have to act upon the facts. That's a strange thing to say maybe around here, but you have to act upon the facts. We had a couple of weeks of doing that, a few weeks of doing that, and 3 or 4 weeks, we then prepared to bring the bill to the floor. They've had 8 months of investigation, come up with nothing, and now they're trying to say, well, we're not going to have a vote because Nancy didn't have a vote the first day. No.
Now, just in case you're not paying attention, I'm describing exactly what I did and what they did. It's the same. But I'm relying on you and your raggedy audience to not recognize that. There you go. See, so y'all just heard this lady come out and everything she described that they did is exactly what Kevin McCarthy's doing. But it's different because I did it. Nasty can get away with anything. So all she's doing is describing the same thing and got the nerve to say, but it's different. It's hogwash.
We had a vote. We were in preparation for a vote. But again, this is a big deal, an impeachment. You have to do it with care and not on impulse. And until we had the case ready, that's when we went forward. Now, they again have been investigating for months, coming up with nothing, and now they're going to say, on the basis of nothing, we're not going to have a vote on how we go forward.
Now we're going to have to pull out the receipts for Nasty. But remember, she said that they were prepared before they pulled the trigger on impeachment. Where's all that evidence again? Where'd it go up in smoke? Both of those cases fell completely flat and should have never been brought. And here her line buddy is talking about impeachment is a very serious thing. And we made sure we covered everything and crossed our T's and dotted our I's before we pulled the trigger. No. Y'all went out there and impeached and filled it in on the back end.
Don't blame it on me. Just take responsibility for what you are doing there. And don't misrepresent the care that we took, the respect that we had for the institution to go forward in a way that really addressed the high crimes and misdemeanors of Donald Trump.
What are those high crimes and misdemeanors that Trump commit? Don't ask me questions like that because you know I don't know. I don't know those things. I had one goal and purpose, and that is to destroy that man. That's right. So now, you hear her Don't be coming at me with this mess. She mad that this guy would even ask her. So we better go ahead and make sure what she said is accurate, y'all.
Distinguished chairman said there's no requirement that we
What's this?
We have a vote, and so at this time we will not be having a vote. And I'm very pleased with the thoughtfulness of our caucus in terms of being supportive of the path that we are on, in terms of fairness, in terms of seeking the truth, in terms of upholding the Constitution of the United States.
There you go. Y'all see that? Now that's evidence that she was just lying. But do you think she cares? You think her voters care? This woman is bold enough to run again in her city where it is raggedy, and then gets up here because she knows the people who vote for her don't even care that she just straight got up there and lied. It's ridiculous. So you talk about truth, you say, well, let's check out this truth.
I want to dive into the questions, Chief Son. In your transcribed interview, you mentioned that you met with the House Sergeant at Arms regarding the National Guard prior to January 6th. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And who is the House Sergeant at Arms?
Yeah, who is it?
Up to and on January 6th?
That would be Paul Irving.
And
who's above
the House Sergeant at Arms is appointed by who?
It was appointed at that time by Speaker Pelosi.
And in your
Nasty
transcribed
Pelosi?
interview, you mentioned that
Since she wants to get to the truth. And don't forget about the January 6th and all of that, and Trump and his racism, and Trump and his rhetoric. I'll punch him. I hope he comes over here right now so I can punch him in the face. I'll go to jail. I'll go to jail. So, all of that. Now, all of a sudden, we're finding out what? Because she wants to get to the truth.
that when you first brought up the National Guard to the House Sergeant at Arms in the days leading up to January 6th, that Mr. Irving said he, quote, didn't like the optics, end quote. Is that correct?
That is correct. He referenced being concerned for optics.
On January 6th, when he went to Mr. Irving to get his approval to call in the Guard, Mr. Irving said he would, quote, run it up the chain. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That was a telephone call. I didn't see him in person when I first made that request.
The House Sergeant at Arms is considered probably the most senior security official on the
Who's
House
at the
side.
top? Who's at the top?
When Mr. Irving says he has to, quote, run it up the chain, end quote, what did that mean?
I took that to mean his leadership chain.
And who would be his
Nasty?
leadership chain? If he's functionally the most senior security official on the House side, correct?
That's his title. That's part of the title, the senior law enforcement official for the House of Representatives. But he would have been referring to the leadership team that goes up to Speaker Pelosi.
Oh, wait. Where's the subpoena for her? Thank you. Somebody just said it. Subpoena Nancy Pelosi. Because not only was Nancy in charge of security, not only did Nancy Pelosi turn down those 10 to 20,000 troops, but then she lies about this guy right here, and he gets fired for Nasty's lies.
So the political leadership team, meaning elected officials, not another security official, is that your
That is correct, sir. He's the top security official for the House.
So who's above
running
him?
up the chain would most likely, in your opinion, is through the Speaker's office and possibly to Speaker Pelosi?
That would be where it ends, yes.
Okay, so
So the buck stops at Nancy Pelosi? Now wait, I thought Trump was responsible for J6. But it sounds to me like Nancy Pelosi, while she was in the basement filming a little video and all of that mess, while she's down there talking about she punched Trump in the face while they were invading the Capitol, was ignoring phone calls and stuff. She said she didn't even get them from this guy because he was trying to stop it, but not Nasty. She was worried about making her dang on, video.
let's park that there, and then let's jump to a second set here. In a press conference on January 7th,
what'd she say?
Speaker Pelosi called for your resignation on national television. Speaker Pelosi also stated that she had not talked to you since the initial breach of the Capitol.
Is this true?
But according to your transcribed interview, you were on the phone with Speaker Pelosi a few times. Can you explain that discrepancy?
Please.
Yeah, that is correct. I spoke to Speaker Pelosi 3 times that evening, and she went on national TV and said I'd never spoken to her, but I spoke to her 3 times. The three times were
nasty as she want to be. That's right. Pleased to meet you. I still won't tell you my name. She's as nasty as they come, y'all. That's right. Living in the fantasy, your own little nasty world. That woman right there straight up said, I never spoke to this man. And in fact, fire him. But guess what? He got receipts.
the first time when I went over to brief Vice President Pence at the secure location. I'd called House Sergeant Arms Irving, told him I was going over to brief the vice president. I was also going over to do a personal assessment at the Capitol. At that point, things were getting under control. Went over there, briefed him on when we can get them back into chambers with, Mr. Irving being fully aware. He said he wanted to get Speaker Pelosi on the phone. He made a phone call from his cell phone at approximately 5:34, where I first briefed Speaker Pelosi. The second call was when I left that location. As I was walking away, I met up with Mr. Stenger, and we started walking over to the Senate to go brief the Senate. When Jennifer Hemingway, I believe it was Jennifer Hemingway, handed me the cell phone, and it was Emily Barrett's cell phone calling her, and it was Speaker Pelosi on the other line. This is my second call with Speaker Pelosi. Questioning the information I'd given to Vice President Pence about when we can get back into chambers. I assured her that information was correct. I could get them back into chambers by 7 p.m. And the call ended. That was call number 2. Call number 3 was 6:25 p.m. I was over at the Senate from the secure location, from where the Senate had been sequestered. And on a cell phone using Robert Karam's cell phone, they dialed leadership, who was over off-site at a secure location, and I briefed all of the leadership of the plans to get them back into chambers. That would have been call number 3 with Speaker Pelosi.
Call number 3. Now, I can see you say, well, I only, one call, I forgot about it in all of the ruckus. But 3? And the man got fired. See, so she goes from 0 to 3?
So you didn't have 1 call, you didn't have 2 calls, you had 3 calls. So Speaker Pelosi's comments that she didn't speak to you were inaccurate.
So you're out.
That is correct, sir.
Wow, she said, yep, that's correct, sir. Send in the Biden defense team,
And for
y'all.
those listening at home, have you seen anything that directly ties President Biden and shows that he profited from his son's foreign business dealings?
We have his son complaining to his relatives about how many of his father's bills he's having to pay with these illicit gains.
But that's not evidence.
Evidence that President Biden profited.
We have it.
Now, you do realize how crazy this is. This man is giving her direct evidence, and she's still looking. Direct evidence. Do you have a size 9 shoe? Yes, here's one. I said a size 9. This is a size 9. I'm showing you the size 9. You know what? Could you show me a size 9? That's what this sounds like. This woman just sat back and heard him say, we got Hunter Biden saying, hey, I'm covering my dad's expenses. And I'm giving my dad half the salary. And she's talking about direct evidence.
For bank records. But when you look at this inquiry itself, is there any chance that it doesn't turn into a full impeachment in your view?
Yeah, but we're issuing subpoenas. But they're getting blocked and tackled and objected to at every turn. And we think when we start
You've gotten a ton of access to bank records.
We have whistleblowers that are self-described Democrats, long-standing civil servants, saying they were not allowed to even look into the tax records when you have evidence of taxes not being paid on millions of dollars. That's an internal investigation, much less a congressional one.
Well, it's a legislative purpose when you ask for this stuff. They have turned over a lot of bank records. We've heard Chairman Comer talk about it. And still, despite that, we have not seen direct evidence. We'll see what this inquiry leads to.
Now, you know what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to hang their hat on, we want to see direct evidence of a payment coming from Hunter or these oligarchs straight into Joe Biden's account. Now, Creepy's dumb, but he ain't that dumb. So when Biden talked about, or when his son talks about giving his dad half his salary, talks about paying for all his dad's expenses, all of that. That's how Joe benefited. Hunter, you get all the money, but then buy everything I want you to buy for me. So there's no money trail of you giving me the money directly. But that's what they're going to try to hang their hat on. So, of course, they're going to ride that out. Show us the bank accounts.
Indictments.
Biden indictments. Excuse me. Biden political indictments. He said to the Attorney General, he said to the Attorney General, indict him.
Nothing.
They put in the New York DA case, which everybody admits isn't even a case.
There's no proof of that.
They're Biden indictments.
Here, New York Times. Garland faces growing pressure as January 6th investigation widens. Let me read the headline again for Kristen Welker.
How can these liberal media commentators be so wrong? It's like they don't even do their back search. Or they solely relying on their ignorant audience. We all know there's evidence. That's why Dan Bongino has to remind her.
From the New York Times. You mean the Post guys? No, the Times. Garland faces growing pressure as January 6th investigation widens. Now, where do you think the pressure is coming from? Well, the New York Times hints at it and says, and while the president has never communicated his frustrations, note how they note directly to Mr. Garland. They don't say indirectly. In other words, it may have gone through back channels. Yeah. Biden has said privately he wanted Garland to act less like a ponderous judge and more like a prosecutor willing to take decisive action over the events. Okay.
Wow. That sounds like him indirectly telling Garlic to go after him. It's kind of like how when the FBI came out and said, we didn't tell Twitter to do anything. We just highly suggested it. We threw it out in the ether and hopefully they got the message. See? So now, come on, Mr. Trump, there's no evidence. But then we even got it coming right from the creep's mouth.
January 6th. Just have to demonstrate that he will not take power if he does run, making sure he, under legitimate efforts of our Constitution, does not become the next president again.
Wow. Now, here's the guy about to run against him. Make sure he doesn't take power. Legitimate Constitution. Make sure he don't run again. Now, what does that mean? I mean, because unless you knew something we don't know, what are you talking about under legitimate guise of the Constitution, which you guys don't care nothing about? Okay. Everything about the Constitution and our civil liberties and freedoms, they are trashing every single day. 4 indictments, all 91 charges and stuff, and they got the nerve to be talking about something. Now, notice he didn't say, I'm going to beat him legitimately. I'm going to make sure he doesn't win. He said, make sure he doesn't run. There you go. Make sure he doesn't run. Let me make sure I got that right. Maybe I got it wrong, but I'm pretty sure he said something about running.
Our Constitution does not become the next president.
Oh, does not become the next president. So how are you going to do that? That's my question. What in the Constitution did Trump violate to make sure he didn't become the next president? So you're not talking about beating him. You're talking about stopping him outside of the legal way, the competition. But that's not even evidence to the lady who was telling Trump, no, come on, Mr. Trump, stop, please. You know what? So, guys, they want evidence. Well, we're going to close with this evidence. Because remember, y'all, they said the creep won fair and square, 81 million votes. And there's no evidence of widespread voter fraud, y'all. None. None whatsoever. You conspiracy theorists, you insurrectionists. So here's another example outside of the many, many, many examples that I've highlighted on my show. Here's another example. Look what happened recently.
The interesting thing we're going to get into is that Joe Ganim, who's the Democrat mayor of that city currently, has had the exact same thing happen, and charges were recommended by the election commission in Connecticut. This guy has done the exact same thing before, except this time they have it on video. So like around 4:50 something a.m. in the morning right here. And this lady, 4:42 or 5:42 a.m., she's bringing in multiple absentee ballots. She goes, stuffs them into the drop box. And here's the weird thing. She walks away and you see she's carrying that Walmart bag, but she goes back, right?
So wait a minute. She's not leaving? She just dumped a whole bunch of ballots in there and then went back for more?
Right there, you're seeing it on footage, and she's gonna pull out more, and then just a few seconds later, she's walking back
What's
up.
She doing?
She pulled in with more. They just magically appeared out of nowhere. And these are like 20 envelopes for an election that was separated by 251 votes. So
too dumb to realize the big fat camera is sitting right above her. This is about as dumb as the people down in Georgia spending the night swiping on camera all night. And then they told us that's a regular procedure, nothing to see here. So now she came back for more, y'all, for seconds.
So she drops those in, comes back at 6:38 a.m., a little bit more light outside. She pops back in.
This is an all-night event.
Same dress. She's brought in like 50 at this point in just the last 3 deposits, because each of those is like a male. You know, you can see how large they are in her hand. I'm just estimating like somewhere around 50. The election was separated by 251. My question is,
wow. And that election was separated by 251 votes. And this woman looks to be carrying at least about 50 ballots in each one of those runs. But there's no evidence. Trump shouldn't be concerned. Shut your mouths.
how many family members can she possibly have that are her immediate family? If the law says you can drop them off if they're your immediate family, how many of them can you have same day?
What? You mean to tell me everybody don't have about 150 to 200 members in their family that they need to bring votes in for? Nah, that's not a thing in your family. Y'all guys don't have that. This is crazy. You guys must have little teeny families. Surely this lady has at least 200 family members that she need to bring these ballots in for. Yeah.
7:15 a.m. So this is the day she's dropping them in. The investigation launched yesterday after this video came out. And I'm assuming someone in the county that just saw this and went, yeah, this isn't normal. Just released this to John Gomes, who is the candidate against Joe Ganim. And that...
See? But there's nothing to be suspicious about. Yeah, all you common sense people, y'all didn't realize boarding up windows during an election so nobody can see is normal? Y'all didn't know that? Y'all didn't know that two areas getting shut down in the middle when Trump's winning and then gets rebooted in the morning and all of a sudden Biden has won? Y'all didn't know that that's normal? You didn't know that? These are all normal things.
And the police launched an investigation based on this footage. So at 7:15, same day. So that's the office. She's a city worker. So she's a clerk at the city.
She about to outsource.
She's back at her workstation preparing for another deposit. This time, she lets this dude right here, she lets him do it, which is weird. So she's sending an employee to make the deposit for her.
I wonder if he even knows what he's doing. Listen, baby, could you please take these out there and put that in the mailbox for me? Okay, you can't take it right. It's right there. I know, but you know, my feet's been killing me and things like that. Just do that for me, please, baby. Well, why are you watching me so closely? Nothing. I just want to make sure you put it in there. So now she done outsourced the corruption and the voter fraud. Now you go out and do it, buddy.
You're going to see she's in the corner watching him, and he's going to put it in. I don't know how many's in there, but she's right there, and he's right here putting it in.
Wow. But there's no evidence of widespread voter fraud. No evidence of creepy and the crackheads dealings. None of that. No evidence whatsoever. We making it up, y'all. Conspiracy theories. Yeah. So we see then what's going on around the country. They have nestled themselves in to the point where they can get busted constantly, and they'll send out a cleanup crew like the media who will look everybody in their face after they are dishing out evidence after evidence and go, now come on, you know what? That's not evidence. That's not that. We want some evidence. See, where you can look at video cameras of these people and their voter fraud and all these investigations and people getting busted, and they'll still look you in the face and say, you know what? Trump knew he lost. There's no evidence of widespread voter fraud. See, so don't believe your lying eyes. They are masters at gaslighting and manipulating people. And if they can't do that, then you know what's next. Silence you, suppress you, assassinate your character, threaten you, harass you. That's the next level. See, so if they can't brainwash you, then what they're going to do is railroad you. That's what they'll do, like they're trying to do my channel. So guys, thanks for watching tonight. Thanks for being gracious and allowing me 22 extra minutes on my birthday. Yeah, man. Wait a minute. Like I said to y'all, I ain't got no money to put. Wait, here, let's see. All right, I'm going to pin nickel on my shirt. There you go. You know, I always thought about that. You ever been out and you seen some girl walking around with $1 on her shirt and everybody just assume it's her birthday and they just go start pinning money on her shirt? I be thinking to myself, she could be doing this every single day and nobody would ever know. I might have to rock that. Just start going out with $1 on my shirt and everybody start, oh, well, happy birthday. Yeah, that's right. Every day is my birthday. Pin more of these on me. See, but I'm not going to be like that. Today is actually my birthday. And so I only got a nickel. But what you can do, if you want to help celebrate my birthday by giving me a nice birthday gift, feel free. My campaign, my little monthly $5 fundraising campaign is still going strong, man. So today is the 20th. And apparently I started it 21 days ago. Not 21 days ago. About 9 or 10 days ago. And we got 21 days left. So anybody who wants to participate in that, the link's right below the video. There you go. Happy birthday, Kev. All right. Now, otherwise, please check out my other channel. Kevin's Corner, not Kevin's Corner, but Stop and Think About It. Check me out on Rumble. Make sure you check out the podcast because all of these are converted into podcasts. And also, this number, 330-974-4607. If you text MAGA to that, I'll make sure that you are in the loop just in case they try to unexist me. Now, understand, we are doing shows 5 days a week now, 7 till 8. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to upload some standalone videos and clips from these live shows as well. So keep your ear to the streets. And if I do that, I will send out a text alert to everybody to know that, hey, I just uploaded a new standalone video. Check it out. Because YouTube ain't going to tell you. They ain't going to tell you. You think they care about Kev's birthday? They don't love Kev. They don't want Kev to be great. But y'all do. So thank you so much for your support. Last but not least, make sure you're still subscribed. Make sure that your notifications are turned on and set to all. And if they're not doing that, let them know. So God bless y'all. God bless America as we continue our journey to search for evidence. Yeah. They're not big feet. Dang on it. This evidence is out in the open. We ain't got to chase it down like Bigfoot. See it for a second and disappear. This evidence is right in our face. And they're like, I don't care what you're looking at. That's not evidence. We want real evidence. God bless y'all. God bless America. Because they're showing us evidence of being stupid. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Let's bounce. Oh, wait. Where's my... Wait. Yeah. 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 Party at Kev's. Yeah. That's right. Party at Kev's. See y'all next time in Kev's Corner. Take care.